it's Megan from Hipstitch Academy, and I am taping another pattern together for you for one of the classes that I have coming up. This is going to be the Ermine Blouse from Fibre Mood. It is a magazine that's put out once a month, and they always have some really stylish patterns. The patterns are a little trickier to put together. They're not trickier to put together, they're trickier to cut out because for some reason they print if somebody knows why, let me know, but they print the seam allowance on the pattern, which I find very confusing when I'm cutting out my pattern. So my suggestion to you is when you download it and print it out, open it up in Adobe Acrobat and find your size first. You can make your size visible only when you print it, and it's going to be a lot less confusing to cut out. I've cut mine out where all of the sizes were visible, and you'll see I did a little trick where I used a Sharpie to find my line first, and then I was confident when I was doing my cutting. Don't just try to eyeball where you're cutting, and also don't worry if it's not perfect. This is not a fitted blouse. This is a blousey blouse. So if you're a little off, it's actually not going to make that big a deal. So don't get too stressed out putting this pattern together. Hope you'll join us for the class, and hope this video that's coming right now will make it a little bit easier for you. All right, here we go. We've got 7 tiles across, 4 tiles down. So get your first 7 pages and cut the bottom and the right side margins, the little extra overhang. Cut those off so you can tape together, and you're going to tape 7 across. Just do your best. Use small pieces of tape so there's some flexibility when you go to add your next rows. You don't want to like tape it like crazy because then things get messed up. So just little pieces of tape. Start your second row, same thing, cut the bottom off, cut the right side off, and have a garbage have your recycling nearby so you can get rid of all the stuff you don't need. Keep it neat, keep it simple. You don't need a giant space. You can kind of let the papers hang off. I just have a small table here that I'm doing it on. And then once you have that second row together, the first row is going to go on top, and you're matching up the lines. It's like a puzzle. Get the lines to match up so it starts to make the pieces of the pattern. And where they match up, put a little piece of tape. And this way you've got flexibility to move things around as you go along. And same thing happens again with row 3. Cut off those extra pieces, tape together, and add to the row below. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. I found my size. I'm doing size XL, and I'm using a Sharpie to count in on the solid lines from from 3XL, 2XL to XL. So I'm the third line in, and I'm just marking it anywhere where it's like hard to tell which is me, which is my size. I'm marking it with this Sharpie so that when I go to cut it, there's no doubt what I'm cutting. Anywhere where it's, you know, fairly easy to see what I'm cutting, I'm probably not using the Sharpie. But anywhere there's a doubt, I think the sleeve was the hardest to sort of see what was my size. Because like I said, they put the seam allowance lines, and I just find that really confusing. I'm sure they have a reason for doing it, but when you're cutting out your size, it can get very confusing.